Ask and you shall receive. What's going on, everybody? It's Untitled Gamer, and we are here in the building with another Anthem news update. Today we are talking about the live stream that occurred today, March 6th, and they went on to talk about some changes that we can expect in the near future for the next upcoming patch, which should be around March 12th. It could be a little bit before that, or it could be a little bit after that. They said that's kind of the date, but they didn't want to set that as a 100% firm. Expect it around March 12th. That's probably around a good date. We are going to talk all about the live stream, and I'm going to highlight some things within that live stream. And as well as that, you guys can check the description box below to get a direct link to a summary of those patch notes, or summary of the discussion. And then once we actually do get patch notes, we'll cover everything in more detail, because hopefully we'll have some things that are more firm rather than a conversation, which some things are viable to change before the release of the patch notes around the 12th or whatever the case may be. We'll cover that in the future, but right now let's talk about the live stream. Thank you guys for tuning in, and let's go. If you are new to the channel, we are an up-and-coming content creator, and we focus on creating educational videos for Anthem and a free-to-play action RPG named Dauntless. We also stream at twitch.tv/SailorTurnedGamer, link in the description box below if you ever want to catch us live. Now let's get into these live stream summaries. Alright, so the first thing we want to highlight is the fact that they talked about fixing like over 300 bug fixes, and I'm not just exaggerating when I say over 300. Those are words that literally came out of the developer's mouth. But like I said, when the patch notes come out, then we can actually gauge what was fixed properly. So just to talk about some of the things that they talked about as far as bug fixes that are supposed to be patched up for the 12th, they fixed supposedly a lot of the crashing issues for PS4. Now they were saying that, you know, it may be possible that they didn't cover every single crash issue, but they believe that they fixed most of them. So that is something that you guys can look forward to when that is happening. They changed some things with Quickplay, because those of you that actually play, you guys know that sometimes you can hop into a Quickplay match and it just may be bugged, and you may not even be able to properly complete the Quickplay mission. So supposedly that is fixed. Now if you are down when a Titan dies, you'll still get the credit and you'll still get loot. The mouse button 4 is no longer bound to escaping, so keep that in mind. They fixed a bunch of occurrences where you'll spawn behind the wall after respawning, so that won't be an issue. That bug that showed up when you start any mission in the game and it says that you have your ultimate active, but you really don't. So it's kind of hard to tell when you actually do have it. So there's been circumstances, at least for myself, where I hop up close to a mob and I'm like, yep, I'm about to blast him, but I don't have my ult. Well, that issue should be fixed. They're planning on fixing all of the sound bugs, so when the patch note goes live, we can verify that, but there should be no more sound bugs within the game. They claim to have covered most, if not all of them. If you are a ranger, then the wind wall, the special ability from the storm, the wind wall actually blocks our ult. So if you are using a ranger and you're going for that ult and it gets blocked by the wind wall, you don't have to worry about that anymore. That's going to be fixed. Gunslinger's mark will be fixed and reusable again, so that's a great thing. And those are just some of the bug fixes that they covered. Like I said, they said it was over 300, and we'll go into a lot more detail when that actually releases. There are several quality of life changes that we can expect in this patch as well. Now, starting an expedition can be done by holding the button, regardless of if you're in a group or not. That's one of the best things that I can see that's happening to the game right now, because when you are in a group, it's so convenient to be able to just press a button and start your expedition. I'll tell you right now, as soon as I hit Fort Tarsus and I gotta go talk to these guys to get these contracts, I'm like, oh my god, I don't really want to walk all the way back. I find myself just going to do something else and then going straight to the loading dock so I can just grab all the contracts at the same time, just because I don't want to walk back. It makes it a lot easier and a lot more convincing to do that, and it's something that I'm excited for. Another quality of life change is that the Colossus can now get back moving on its feet after overhitting or hitting a wall or any type of heavy hit reaction, which is really, really good. And it's very noticeable. Those of you that got a chance to watch the live stream, you saw this, but if you didn't, it's very, very noticeable when the Colossus actually has any type of heavy hitting reaction. The time that it takes for this guy to get back on his feet is incredibly quick, and it's super, super awesome. There's a lot of respawn restricted areas that have been removed, so that's really, really awesome. No more getting locked out of a space because of a respawn restriction. Free play server notifications, those won't pop up as much anymore. Open the Cortex has been removed. Random stronghold selections have been added to the game. There aren't any bonuses for that, but they wanted to be able to allow the player to decide if they wanted to hop into a random stronghold rather than one of their choosing, in case they wanted to just help someone out. Further down the line, they do plan on adding rewards for doing something like that, but as of right now, that is not a thing. They also talked about some balance and gameplay changes. Melee and ultimate attacks have been adjusted for higher difficulties, which is a part of the video that I released yesterday talking about some of the issues that I believe exist with the Ranger. Well, they buffed the melee attack, so that's going to benefit all the classes, but specifically the Ranger and the Interceptor is really going to help them out. And they buffed the ultimates because those things are just not doing enough damage. Because of the buffing that they will be doing to that, the power numbers will be scaling, and so whatever your power is, it's going to be technically higher because they had to raise it for the scaling, but it still, power is not really a big deal in this game. It's all about your main stats, keep that in mind. Wind Wall's damage absorb has been increased, so Wind Wall is going to be a lot more effective. However, they did shorten the time that it's active from 60 seconds to 20 seconds. You can now prime Titans, so it's going to be a little bit easier to kill those Titans. They increased the damage for a lot of the Masterwork weapons because supposedly they weren't doing a lot of damage. Now, here's some changes when it comes to looting. The change that was supposed to be in the last patch when it comes to the green and white loot items not dropping anymore past level 30, that actually didn't happen. And now it is definitely confirmed to be in the next upcoming patch. But again, like I said, when the patch notes release, guys, I'm going to cover that, and we are going to be certain that those changes are actually in effect, whatever they are. I expect there to be a lot of juicy details in this upcoming patch. If you are looking at GM2 or GM3 for loot, those changes are unfortunately not going to be in this upcoming patch because this isn't a content patch. They do have one planned towards the end of March. So a little bit longer to go, and we'll be there slowly but surely. As far as the support gear, there are some things that they want to change with that, but they don't have anything yet. But they do want to make some changes to the support gear to make them more efficient and more effective. He also spoke on the stats page system, and Ben Irving said that they are looking into that and they are trying to see if there's a way that they can bring in a stat page efficiently and quickly, but they are working on that as we speak. The health UI bug is unfortunately not going to be fixed within the patch that should be coming very, very soon, but they wanted to reassure us that they do plan on streaming like they are now every couple of weeks, just to help us out and keep us going and keeping us aware of what's going on there at Bioware. One of the last things that I want to cover is the DLSS support. I know I've talked about this before in other videos, and I've highlighted this from other dev streams that they've done. They're still working on it. It's coming in the future. Overall, what I want people to take away from this is that even though we didn't get a content patch, and I know there are tons of players that play this game, and there's a lot of things that a lot of people want to see, the thing that I think is the most important is that they fix the essence of the game. The bones are there, and this is a good game. There are just so many little things that need to be fixed with the game. There's so many bugs that needs to be taken care of, and if they just fix those things, it'll be a lot easier to move forward. So when the developers and Ben Irvin spoke about there being over 300 bug fixes, I mean, we'll see. But if that is indeed the case, then it's easier for the community to play this game, and it's easier for Bioware to move in the right direction, and it'll just make it that much more smoother when content does release that's outside of the norm, so we can all enjoy the game in a better capacity. I think that is the number one thing, is taking care of as many bug fixes as possible to make the experience a lot better for the entire player base. Anybody that made this far in the video, I really just want to say thank you. We're growing every day, and we're trying to create content to stimulate the mind and educate anyone out there that is curious about a game that's fantastic. I will be covering Anthem as well as Dauntless for many, many years to come. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a share, and join the fleet by hitting that sub button. Until then, this sailor will be out in the open ocean. I'll catch you guys in another one. Peace.